Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome, everybody, to the H2 MHI Summit. This truly is a global, worldwide opportunity, the first monumental event of its kind. This is all done and organized by the Molecular Hydrogen Institute, MHI. This is our nonprofit that is dedicated to advancing the research, the education, and the awareness of hydrogen as a therapeutic potential medical gas. Really pleased that we have this opportunity to educate people about molecular hydrogen because it's an exciting emerging field. Hydrogen's therapeutic potential to combat oxidative stress and inflammatory conditions in so many different areas is very exciting, but we need to also temper our excitement by our ignorance and the fact that we still don't really know just how clinically relevant or important or effective molecular hydrogen is. We're going to see some very exciting things that researchers are presenting that will make us really believe that yes, this is what we need, this is what we want. But again, we always need more research. We need more studies to understand the true clinical effects, the mechanisms, and so on. Keep that in mind as we go. Now, with this event, it is an academic symposium largely in the sense that many of these presentations are what you would typically get at an academic symposium, but the general public has access to them. Now, of course, some of the presentations are going to be able to be understood by many of the general population, the general public, because we want to spread this education. But it's really unique to have so many of these professors and medical doctors and to take the time and put this presentation together for this H2 summit. Now there's going to be quite a bit there, so this is why those with a free ticket you get access to the select presentations for 24 hours, and then of course those with the VIP ticket you'll get access for a full 30 days of all the presentations, so you can watch them at your own pace and you can see what's going on with the research. Now, when it comes to using this platform and the program, again, all the presentations are going to be available through this online platform, and you can find the program of the text and the video. And we would recommend that you follow the program outline. So if you go to the program and there's an outline that we provided you, so we recommend you follow that today. And then that way you can watch the presentations at the same time as everyone else. We literally have thousands of people that are joining us today watching this presentation. I really want to recognize and acknowledge our gratitude for our speakers. We are generally deeply grateful for the esteemed speakers who have generously shared their expertise. I mean, again, these are these professors and PhDs and students who have dedicated so many their years to educating, well, to researching molecular hydrogen so they can educate us on their research. In reality, these are the researchers, that we are indebted to and are grateful for them and their expertise and what they've done for us. And so I just want to, on the part of the organizers, on the part of everybody, I want to say thank you. And of course, I also want to extend my thank you to the audience, to you for attending this, because that's why we as researchers are wanting to put something like this together, because we see there is a need in the industry, in the world, because people want to learn about molecular hydrogen, and we see it as it's kind of our responsibility, our duty to educate people about what our research is about so it doesn't get misunderstood. And so truly we are very grateful for you taking the time out of your busy schedules, your busy lives, and you have work, you have families, you have activities, you have a million other things you could be doing, but you're taking the time out of your busy schedule to listen to these hours of presentations to learn about molecular hydrogen and helping us to get the messaging correct and spreading that education and learning about what's going on in the field of academia and research. So thank you. Of course, I also want to thank the MHI staff and the volunteers. A very special thank you, because this event, this is the first time I've ever done something like this. I mean, I've helped with some of the events in China, but just kind of, and Slovakia with, offering, suggestions and people giving some input, but not the full organization of everything. And it is an immense amount of work. And I'm deeply gratitude to the MHI staff, specifically May, who many of you seen in the emails. She sent out a lot of things. She's organized and put so much of this together. The program, and the reaching out to speakers and to get the PowerPoints and everything and videos edited. She's done an immense amount of work, and it's largely volunteer work from the MHI staff. I mean, as you can see, this is a free ticket. That people have. Yes, there's a $27 option, but with all the website and everything that we have to keep up. It is a difficult event to do, but we are deeply passionate and excited about this area. There's unfortunately a lot of misinformation in the general public about molecular hydrogen, as well as amongst academics. They tend to not really know what we're talking about or understand the research, and so we just want to make it accessible to both the academics, the scientists, the professors, researchers, so they can understand what is going on and maybe have interest so they can research more, but also to the general public so they can see better what's going on and help combat some of that misinformation. We're also actually really grateful for the opportunity we have to offer these CEUs, the continuing education units by SUU, Southern Utah University. This is great because it allows an opportunity for people to not only get the CEUs from Southern Utah University, but also helps to really establish the fact that we're trying the best that we can to provide the most accurate and best education we can by literally the leading experts of molecular hydrogen research. And so we're very grateful for this opportunity and for your support and for the support of the researchers, because without this support, without your participation, again, this simply wouldn't happen because MHI, we're not a huge organization. We don't sell hydrogen products or something. So we really this really a work of volunteer effort. In fact, in terms of like donations, for example, yes, we as we are a tax exempt nonprofit, we do accept donations, but we probably received just a few $1,000s in the past 5 years in terms of donations. So most of the money that we generate as a nonprofit actually comes from our program money, which is our certifications. So we have like level 1, and we're working on level 2 and level 3, and because people want to learn about molecular hydrogen. And in these certification courses, people can learn about the basics of science and biology and science itself. It's not just about hydrogen, but just so you can be better critical thinkers yourself and understand the concepts of molecular hydrogen, and then be able to understand the research and the literature about molecular hydrogen so you can apply that to your own lives. And that's primarily the way that this whole thing is being funded, by that, I guess, program money. And so we're very grateful for the opportunity we have to educate people. And again, for our speakers, we're not paying any of the speakers. I wish that we could. I honestly, I feel bad that I'm reaching out to these top level speakers and academics, and they should get paid. I mean, I know when I speak at various conferences, including some academic symposia, sometimes I'll get paid or reimbursed some sort of remuneration for my time and expertise. And in this case, we just don't have the funds because we don't have any corporate sponsors. You'll see throughout this entire event, there's no advertisements, there's no ads, we have no corporate sponsors. And we wanted to do this because we really just want to focus on the molecular hydrogen research, on that education, that awareness. We don't want to be put in a position where it seems like we're tacitly endorsing any specific products or company, or even to the point where we're recommending that people should actually do hydrogen therapy, because that's a personal choice that perhaps through the summit and research you can determine if that's the choice that you want to make. Sure, but that's not what our purpose is. Our purpose is really to spread this education and this awareness, and that's why we've chosen not to do any corporate sponsors or advertisements or anything, and just really volunteer our time and our efforts so that we can spread this education to everybody. And so again, I just really appreciate the researchers, for my colleagues, right, my friends, my hydrogen family, um, for their support in this, and for um, putting forth the time to put these presentations together, and to encourage others to present, and so on. So that it really means so much for everybody to help us advance this mission of educating and researching people about molecular hydrogen. And one of the ways that I think shows our support for this is as we're able to spread the awareness about the true research and education about molecular hydrogen. This is kind of a difficult area, but with today with social media, whether it's WeChat or TikTok or Instagram, Facebook, and then all the other platforms, unfortunately, there's a lot of misunderstanding and misinformation about health things in general, but also including molecular hydrogen. And part of me is actually concerned. I've done number of podcasts and doing these webinars and different things, and I'm sometimes concerned about doing that because we don't really have the clinical evidence that is necessary in order to make any specific prescription or protocols or something for hydrogen therapy. It's in my opinion. I talk about this more in my presentation, and so it's a little bit. It makes me sometimes feel a little bit uncomfortable doing this type of education. But I also realize if we don't give any education, then other people who are selling products, perhaps, or just trying to help people, will educate people incorrectly. Sometimes even referring to molecular hydrogen as, say, hydrogen ions, or thinking the same thing as alkaline pH, which is very detrimental to the research. And I even talk about this in my presentation about some news media articles that um, fundamentally misunderstood the concept of molecular hydrogen therapy, and because of their basic misunderstanding of chemistry, ended up calling it, baloney or a scam, basically. And so with that, I do want to appropriately encourage you to share your thoughts and share some of this information on your social media, and to tag H2MHI. You can tag me. Let people know about this hydrogen summit. Let people know about this amazing opportunity of education, of research. Let's combat the misinformation with accurate information from the real credible researchers who are presenting at this summit. It's not I'm just one of the researchers, and I'm working hard to organize this all together. But there are so many researchers out there that I am indebted to and grateful for. And so I think it can be an important role for us as an audience, as a team, as a community, as a hydrogen community, that we actively go to social media to not with the intent to convince somebody that hydrogen is the end all be all or something, but people should be aware that this is something that's being actively researched by mainstream medicine, by large scale clinical trials. There's some serious research going on in this, and so it's not misunderstood. People don't think it's the same as alkaline water or other types of misinformation or what we call pseudoscience out there. When people realize that there's legitimate research behind this, then they can look at the research articles themselves and they can determine what that means for them. And so I would encourage you to do that. To please, if you want to please tag MHI in this, so we can spread the awareness, and to, again, it's only to help combat the misinformation that's out there. And I guess lastly, again, I just want to say thank you. Thank you as an audience for your participation, for your support in all of this. And thanks again to our wonderful speakers, for all of their support in this. And last but not least, I want to specifically thank Professor John Kerr, as the co-host, the co-chair, for his support with this conference. He is so beyond busy, incredibly busy, and he has um, allowed me to work with him to help put this summit together. And he's been very supportive in everything, because he generally really wants the research on molecular hydrogen to continue. As you'll see in his presentation, he's work to get clinical trials approved at the FDA level, so that he can really determine what is the clinical efficacy, what is the relevancy of molecular hydrogen, how can it really be used, and so on. And I'm just grateful for his support with putting this academic symposia together, and his support in everything that we've done. And so and I just have so much gratitude for everybody, for everything. And I hope you enjoy the presentations. And I hope that if there's any questions or whatever, you can feel free to email us. We'd like to clarify things. We don't want any misunderstandings or anything. And again, just thank you. I can't say that enough. Gracias, sheshe, arigato gozaimasu, and so on. Jack William, dobre. Thank you, everybody.